think for me, I've got two real vivid memories of end-of-life patients. My first was nursed in the community, and she was receiving palliative care. So I was a student nurse and I was working with a district nursing service at the time. And she was very elderly and she had terminal cancer. I always remember going to visit her. She lived in the Cotswolds. And for me, the day we went to lay her out, we'd found from the GP that she'd passed away. She had these really strong smelling roses round her front door. And it was a really hot summer's day. And I just remember, I felt quite attached to her actually. And I'd never really noticed these roses before. But the day we went to lay her out, the smell was just overwhelming and it was so sweet. She'd got a cannula, like a butterfly needle in the back of her hand where her syringe driver had been. And just doing those things for her, which were actually, it seemed quite undignified, but I think as nurses we do it in the most dignified way that we can and really respect patients even when they've passed away. And I think for me it's the last thing you can ever do for somebody, you know, and they deserve that so much. And it was really lovely because we knew her wishes. She wanted to die at home, that was always the plan. And we fulfilled that really, and I think we had that real close connection. We never know when death is going to happen to us or to a loved one sometimes. But I think it's fundamental that we know that person's wishes and that we can fulfill those. I think one thing that I've learnt loads about death and dying, but you never sort of ever learn everything. It's always evolving, isn't it? How people, their wishes and how we can try and implement those. But the thing is, I worked in an oncology ward as a student nurse, and I remember one of the sisters on that ward said to me, sometimes we always think about the loved ones who are going to be left behind and how they cope with their grief and how they're going to manage without their dad, their mum, their daughter, their son, their wife, their husband. But she always said to me, it's really important that the person who's dying is also being bereft. They're also losing their family. They're often full of fear because it's the unknown. So I always think, you know, although we always are really empathetic towards those who are left behind, I think part of being a really good nurse is really trying to empathise with the fear that that patient is experiencing at the end of their life. Even if sometimes it's very quick and you're not in their lives for very long, it really leaves you feeling emotionally drained. And to be honest, if it doesn't, I think you're in the wrong job and it's time to go.